Hello, Summer Stars. Today is our first day of Summer Stars, and we're going to start with a read aloud. I'm going to be reading a book to you called The One and Only Ivan. It will probably take us almost the whole time of Summer Stars to read this book, but it's a really great story, and I think you're going to enjoy it. I'm going to share my screen right now because I want to share some of the pictures from the story with you. So let me share my screen. Okay, The One and Only Ivan by Catherine Applegate. And today we're going to read pages 1 through 18. Now, as I read this book, every day I'm going to give you some vocabulary words to listen for as I read the story. And then when we have our guided reading Google Meet, we'll talk about those vocabulary words so that I can help you understand what they mean. So today we have 5 words. We're going to be looking for the word patient. Patient means done in a careful way over a long period of time without hurrying. We're going to listen for the word domain. Domain means territory. Unkempt means messy. Migrate means move from place to place. And forage means to search for something. So those are the 5 words we'll be listening for, and we're going to learn what these mean today when we have our Google Meet, and we'll talk a lot about those words. The other thing I'm going to have you do today is there's always going to be a think and imagine part of our read aloud. And we're going to be using the little white booklet I sent you. If for some reason you don't have your packet with you or you didn't receive your packet for some reason, you can just get some white paper to write on and you can make your own booklet. This is just a plain white paper folded into the form of a book. And it's in your, if you did get your packet, it's in your Summer Stars school supply envelope. And you'll need a pencil. So today, what I want you to do before you listen to the read aloud is I want you to think, what are you thinking right now about zoos and circuses and exhibits in malls that have animals? And do you think that that's a good idea or a bad idea? Should wild animals be kept in exhibits in malls, circuses, and zoos? Why or why not? And you're going to skip the cover because we're going to save that for a different activity. We're going to go over to page 1. And you're going to start with a capital letter, and you're going to write, I think animals should be kept in mall, zoos, or circuses because, or you might write, I think it's okay for animals to be in zoos because, but I don't think animals should be kept at malls because. Or maybe you think animals shouldn't be kept in any of those places. I don't think animals should be kept in exhibits in malls or circuses or zoos, and to give me a reason why. Now, you state your opinion, and then you're going to tell me a reason why you feel that way. And if you have more than one reason, that makes your argument even stronger. And you should give me more than one reason. So at least one reason why you feel that way. And if you can give me more, that's great. So what I'm going to have you do right now is press pause on the video. And I want you to write that down even before we start reading, how you're feeling right now. And this is a question we're going to talk about a lot during this book because your opinion may stay the same or it may change as we read the book. So right now, press pause, write your answer, and then when you're ready to listen to the story, press play again. All right, welcome back. When we meet today for our Google Meet for our reading group, we're going to talk about this question. I can't wait to hear what your opinions are and what your reasons are. But let's start our story. The One and Only Ivan by Catherine Applegate. Hello, I am Ivan. I am a gorilla. It's not as easy as it looks. Names. People call me the freeway gorilla, the ape at exit 8, the one and only Ivan, mighty silverback. The names are mine, but they're not me. I am Ivan, just Ivan, only Ivan. Humans waste words. They toss them like banana peels and leave them to rot. Everyone knows the peels are the best part. I suppose you think gorillas can't understand you. Of course, you also probably think we can't walk upright. Try knuckle walking for an hour. You tell me, which way is more fun? Patience. I've learned to understand human words over the years, but understanding human speech is not the same as understanding humans. Humans speak too much. They chatter like chimps, crowding the world with their noise, even when they have nothing to say. It took me some time to recognize all those human sounds, to weave words into things, but I was patient. Patient is a useful way to be when you're an ape. Gorillas are as patient as stones. Humans, not so much. How I look. I used to be a wild gorilla, and I still look the part. I have a gorilla's shy gaze, a gorilla's sly smile. I wear a snowy saddle of fur, the uniform of a silverback. When the sun warms my back, I cast a gorilla's majestic shadow. In my size, humans see a test of themselves. They hear fighting words on the wind, when all I'm thinking is how the late day sun reminds me of a ripe nectarine. I'm mightier than any human, 400 pounds of pure power. My body looks made for battle. My arms outstretched span taller than the tallest human. My family tree spreads wide as well. I am a great ape, and you are a great ape. And so are chimpanzees and orangutans and bonobos, all of us distant and distrustful cousins. I know this is troubling. I too find it hard to believe there is a connection across time and space, linking me to a race of ill-mannered clowns. Chimps. There's no excuse for them. The Exit 8 Big Top Mall and Video Arcade. I live in a human habitat called the Exit 8 Big Top Mall and Video Arcade. We are conveniently located off I-95 with shows at 2, 4, and 7, 365 days a year. Mac says that when he answers the trilling telephone. Mac works here at the mall. He is the boss. I work here too. I am the gorilla. At the Big Top Mall, a creaky music carousel spins all day, and monkeys and parrots live amid the merchants. In the middle of the mall is a ring with benches where humans can sit on their rumps while they eat soft pretzels. The floor is covered with sawdust made of dead trees. My domain is at one end of the ring. I live here because I am too much gorilla and not enough human. Stella's domain is next to mine. Stella is an elephant. She and Bob, who is a dog, are my dearest friends. At present, I do not have any gorilla friends. My domain is made of thick glass and rusty metal and rough cement. Stella's domain is made of metal bars. The sun bear's domain is wood. The parrot's is wire mesh. 3 of my walls are glass, one of them is cracked, and a small piece about the size of my hand is missing from its bottom corner. I made the hole with a baseball bat Matt gave me for my 6th birthday. After that, he took the bat away, but he let me keep the baseball that came with it. A jungle scene is painted on one of my domain walls. It has a waterfall without water and flowers, without scent and trees, without roots. I didn't paint it, but I enjoy the way the shapes flow across my wall, even if it isn't much of a jungle. I am lucky my domain has 3 windowed walls. I can see the whole mall and a bit of the world beyond the frantic pinball machines, the pink billows of cotton candy, the vast and treeless parking lot. Beyond the lot is a freeway where cars stampede without end. A giant sign at its edge beckons them to stop and rest like gazelles at a watering hole. The sign is faded, the colors bleeding, but I know what it says. Mac read its words aloud one day. Come to the Exit 8 Big Top Mall and Video Arcade, home of the one and only Ivan, mighty silverback. Sadly, I cannot read, although I wish I could. Reading stories would make a fine way to fill my empty hours. Once, however, I was able to enjoy a book left in my domain by one of my keepers. It tasted like termite. The freeway billboard has a drawing of Mac in his clown clothes and Stella on her hind legs and an angry animal with fierce eyes and unkempt hair. That animal is supposed to be me, but the artist made a mistake. I am never angry. Anger is precious. A silverback uses anger to maintain order and warn his troop of danger. When my father beat his chest, it was to say, beware, listen, I am in charge. I am angry to protect you. because that is what I was born to do. Here in my domain, there is no one to protect. The littlest big top on earth. My neighbors here at the Big Top Mall know many tricks. They are an educated lot, more accomplished than I am. One of my neighbors plays baseball, although she is a chicken. Another drives a fire truck, although he is a rabbit. I used to have a neighbor, a sleek and thoughtful seal, who could balance a ball on her nose from dawn till dusk. Her voice was like the throaty bark of a dog chained outside on a cold night. Children wished on pennies and tossed them into her plastic pool. They glowed on the bottom like flat copper stones. The seal was hungry one day, or bored perhaps, so she ate 100 pennies. Mac said she'd be fine. He was mistaken. Matt calls our show the littlest big top on earth. Every day at 2, 4, and 7, humans fan themselves, drink sodas, applaud, babies wail. Mac, dressed like a clown, pedals a tiny bike. A dog named Snickers rides on Stella's back. Stella sits on a stool. It is a very sturdy stool. I don't do any tricks. Mac says it's enough for me to be me. Stella told me that some circuses move from town to town. They have humans who dangle on ropes, twinning from the tops of tents. They have grumbling lions with gleaming teeth and a snaking line of elephants, each clutching the limp tail in front of her. The elephants look far off into the distance, so they won't see the humans who want to see them. Our circus doesn't migrate. We sit where we are, like an old beast, too tired to push on. After our show, humans forage through the stores. A store is where humans buy things they need to survive. At the Big Top Mall, some stores sell new things like balloons and t-shirts, and caps to cover the gleaming heads of humans. Some stores sell old things that smell dusty and damp and long forgotten. All day, I watch humans scurry from store to store. They pass their green paper, dry as old leaves and smelling of 1,000 hands, back and forth and back again. They hunt frantically, stalking, pushing, grumbling. Then they leave, clutching bags filled with things, bright things, soft things, big things. But no matter how full the bags, they always come back for more. Humans are clever indeed. They spin pink clouds you can eat. They build domains with flat waterfalls. But they are lousy hunters. Some animals live privately, unwatched, but that is not my life. My life is flashing lights and pointing fingers and uninvited visitors. Inches away, humans flatten their little hands against the walls of glass that separate us. The glass says you are this and we are that, and that is how it will always be. Humans leave their fingerprints behind, sticky with candy, slick with sweat. Each night, a weary man comes to wipe them away. Sometimes I press my nose against the glass. My nose print, like your fingerprint, is the first and last and only one. The man wipes the glass and then I am gone. Artists. Here in my domain, I do not have much to do. You can only throw so many meatballs at humans before you get bored. A meatball is made by rolling up dung until it's the size of a small apple, then letting it dry. I always keep a few on hand. For some reason, my visitors never seem to carry any. In my domain, I have a tire swing, a baseball, a tiny plastic pool filled with dirty water, and even an old TV. I have a stuffed gorilla too. Julia, the daughter of the weary man who cleans the mall each night, gave it to me. The gorilla has empty eyes and floppy limbs, but I sleep with it every night. I call it Not Tag. Tag was my twin sister's name. Julia is 10 years old. She has hair like black glass and a wide half-moon smile. She and I have a lot in common. We are both great apes, and we are both artists. It was Julia who gave me my first crayon, a stubby blue one, slipped to the broken spot in my glass along with a folded piece of paper. I knew what to do with it. I'd watched Julia draw. When I dragged the crayon across the paper, it left a trail in its wake like a slithering blue snake. Julia's drawings are wild with color and movement. She draws things that aren't real, clouds that smile and cars that swim. She draws until her crayons break and her paper rips. Her pictures are like pieces of a dream. I can't draw dreamy pictures. I never remember my dreams, although I sometimes awaken with my fists clenched and my heart hammering. My drawings seem pale and timid next to Julia's. She draws the ideas in her head, and I draw the things in my cage. Simple items that fill my days. An apple core, a banana peel, a candy wrapper. I often eat my subjects before I draw them. But even though I draw the same things over and over again, I never get bored with my art. When I'm drawing, that's all I think about. I don't think about where I am, about yesterday or tomorrow. I just move my crayons across the paper. Humans don't always seem to recognize what I've drawn. They squint, cock their heads, murmur. I'll draw a banana, a perfectly lovely banana, and they'll say, "It's a yellow airplane," or "It's a duck without wings." That's all right. I'm not drawing for them. I'm drawing for me. Max soon realized that people will pay for a picture made by a gorilla, even if they don't know what it is. Now I draw every day. My work sells for $20 a piece, $25 with a frame, at the gift shop near my domain. If I get tired and need a break, I eat my crayons. And we're going to stop there for today. So I hope you enjoyed the beginning part of that story and meeting and finding out a little bit about Ivan. Now today, when you come to your Google Meet for reading, we are going to talk about the vocabulary words. We're going to talk about your opinion and what your reasons are for your opinion about whether animals should be kept in exhibits in malls and zoos and circuses. And then here are some other questions that we're going to talk about so you can think about this. Why do you think Ivan said humans waste words? Do you agree? And why or why not? How do you think Ivan feels about humans? And how do you think Ivan feels about chimps? And why do you think Ivan says anger is precious? And why is Ivan never angry? So those are some things we're going to talk about. And that will be during the guided reading Google Meet. So between 10 and 11, I'm going to meet with 3 different groups. So you've been assigned a group, and I'll send you an invitation to come to the Google meeting. And so the first group of students will meet from 10 to 10:20. And the second group of students will meet from 10:20 to 10:40. And the third group of students will meet from 10:40 to 11. So I'll get to see all of you, but we'll get to talk more because it'll be a smaller group. All right, so I will see you later, and we will talk about this story.